Hello, fellow ham radio operators. I wanted to take a minute and discuss the Chameleon MPAS 2.0 portable antenna system. Just purchased one this weekend and had a few initial thoughts. I wouldn't call this video a review so much as just some commentary based on my initial experience with the product. Appreciate you taking the time to watch this video. I've observed a few things about the antenna, and considering how expensive the antenna is, I think it's fair to say this is a very expensive antenna. I think it was appropriate to mention some items that other people interested in this antenna may want to take into consideration. The fact that it's expensive doesn't take anything away from it. It is a very well-made antenna, and it's US made, and I've seen the videos of their factory, and they're certainly doing a fine job making their product, and I hope they continue to do so for a long time. And given the choice, I would still buy this antenna, would buy it all over again. But I'm hoping that maybe the right people get this information and act accordingly. At any rate, the product ships in a large military-style backpack, and which is very roomy, has a ton of space in it, way more space than you need to pack the antenna. And unfortunately, though, it is not big enough to hold the bottom section of the antenna pole when it's folded up. You see, you can stretch the antenna, you can stretch it out there against the backpack, and you see it can't encompass the length of the pole. So I'm still trying to figure out if there's a way to unzip or leave a corner of the bag, the backpack unzipped so that the pole fits in here. Not quite sure, but in other words, you can't completely fit everything in so that it's not spilling out or rolling out. Something to consider. I'm actually also considering going to Guitar Center and looking for a soft-sided electric guitar case, because I think maybe it would be a better fit for holding all of these components. This is pretty much most of the antenna, and I think it would all fit in something a lot smaller. Yes, this is a much bigger backpack and could hold radios, batteries, logbooks, you name it, but I think I may find a more appropriate bag to hold this antenna that's a little more compact. Secondly, just as a reminder, kind of facetiously here, this is the Chameleon MPAS 2.0, and when I opened the box, this is the manual that was in there. Now, this is not like another manual printed on the other side, or a few pages in. It switches to MPAS 2.0. This is the wrong manual. Now, of course, yes, I have an internet connection and I have a laser printer, so I was able to produce the appropriate manual. My point is, you never know. Some people maybe take this out of the box, put it in their bug out bag, and the first time they open it is in a time when they need it, and they don't have this manual, and they don't have internet service. And this is a 25-page manual. It has quite a bit of good information in it. There are plenty of ways to set this antenna up, and I'm quite certain a seasoned ham radio operator knows most of this, or could figure it out on his own, or by himself or by herself. But still, it would be nice to get the right manual when you buy the product. Third, my salesperson at Ham Radio Outlet suggested, and rightfully so, that I get an RFI choke for the antenna, which is just a length of RG58 with a PL259 at one end, SO239 at the other end, and a ferrite choke in the middle. So I purchased it. The only issue is that the 50-foot length of coax that comes with the antenna already has one in it. It might be nice to put a like a sticker on the package that says, that indicates that the RFI choke is already included, so you don't end up making an excess purchase. And then lastly, this is the top section of the antenna, and it has a 3/8 inch thread on the end that screws into the bigger pole. Now I'm going to try to hold this steady. If you see there towards the top of the thread, towards the base of the antenna, right there, you see something in those threads. Well, you see right there, there's been a hole drilled and there's some epoxy dropped in that hole. And the epoxy has weeped out into the threads. Now then, when you try and screw this antenna, screw this piece into another mating surface, this is as far as you get because of that epoxy in the threads. So I've got to be careful and come in here and work that epoxy out of the threads somehow and clean that up so that I can more thoroughly secure the antenna when assembling it. Again, these are all kind of small things, and I'd let it slide if I was buying something like this off of Banggood or Alibaba or something like this, but again, it's an expensive antenna, and I don't think it's wrong to expect that items like this are taken care of when you open the box, and that's why I bring it up. I hope that you go ahead with your plans to buy one of these antennas, but perhaps you might consider having a look at the antenna you intend to buy before purchasing it, and make sure that everything is right. And I do hope that you, if you're planning on buying one of these, you go ahead with your plans, and I hope that you enjoy your MPAS 2.0. I hope I'm the only person that has these problems, but I thought I'd bring them up just in case. At any rate, 73, and hope to see you on the bands. Thanks.